Every Saturday night, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and feel like I do, right here on this station. Welcome back to the Edge Television broadcast. My name is Daniel Lott. We've rebooted the server, and Jamie, we just keep growing. The numbers are astronomical. It's like a vertical line going straight up. I guess everybody tells one. You've heard somebody say, "Tell 10 friends about your program." Well, somebody's telling 1,000 because we just keep get so many logons that we've got to keep increasing our bandwidth there. But we've got that handled right now. But I tell you what, in the midst of all that, you know, Jamie, we had a lot of people say that. The Edge and other shows that are the last bastions of freedom thought out there is just really targets of the man. But you know what, though? We're going to find the man. We're going to poke him in his big black eye because the man is really synonymous with the alien agenda. What do you think, Jamie?
No, I think it's a matrix, Daniel.
The matrix goo.
Guard yourself.
Okay, let's go to our newsmaker line and welcome to the program, Freeman Fly. Freeman, welcome back.
Hey, it's great to be here, Daniel.
Hey, it's good to have you back. And what you been doing with yourself the last couple of years, Freeman?
Oh my God, it has been the most amazing couple of years in my life. You know, it just I called into Coast to Coast Open Lines to try and tell them a little bit about my life, and they shut me down and would not believe me. You know, I have been to a one-time only Mayan ritual at the pyramids of Tikal where the Mayans performed their winter solstice celebration all night long for the first time ever.
Wow.
I documented all of that. Mm-hmm. I've had large V-shaped crafts fly over my head while meeting the high priest of the Church of Satan.
Wow.
Telling me about his device to open portals for the old ones to enter and wreak vengeance on planet Earth, and spent some time with the Twin Towers architect. That's a Kabbalist magician that designs Kabbalistic gardens and was supposed to create this bicentennial mall for Nashville.
Well, I tell you what, it sounds to me there's no waiting for the portal for evil direct havoc upon the earth. Seems like that's happening right now with or without a portal. But if there's something larger than the mess that's going on now, Freeman, it's going to get ugly out there.
It's going to get very strange. This much is true.
Well, welcome to the program. We have in the studio with us our program director, Jamie. Jamie, say hello to Freeman Fly.
Hey, Freeman Fly. How are you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm doing well, Jamie. Doing well.
Excellent, man. You in Freeman, in just that intro, it sounds to me like you've got a whole lot of things going on, and we're going to be talking about some of these things. Stem cell research. Of course, I always want to talk about my favorite topic later on, synchronicity, which you basically brought to my attention out there. As you brought a sort of a laser beam focus to that, and we're going to be talking about Obama and coming meteors. Now, let's just start off with some basic, just some innocuous topic. Let's just say the coming alien invasion when all mankind will be destroyed. Why don't we start with that? And then we'll go up from there. We'll use that as a baseline, the total destruction of the planet and an invasion of such. But describe this craft, Freeman, that you say flew over you, a V-shaped craft. Did it have lights on it? Did it have no sound? Did it have blasters? What's going on with that?
Well, fortunately, I had looked into anti-gravity already. There's a great book called the Anti-Gravity Handbook that will describe anti-gravity technology to you. And what you're looking at is a particle accelerator, a pocket-sized particle accelerator that spins on an orbitron, basically, a gyroscope, and causes gravitational fields to open up so that you fall in the direction that you want to go.
Wow.
Yeah. Obama should be coming out about this anti-gravity technology very shortly. This will be one of the next big news that comes our way.
Really, is this anti-gravity technology? Is it going to free humans from the dependency on fossil fuel?
Only after they kill off 2/3 of the population.
Okay, we want to go ahead and just kill 2/3 of them. Now, if the plans that are in place for the let's just say the dismissal of humans upon the planet there, Freeman, are they already selected, or is it going to be a random hit?
You know, that is a very curious question for sure, because, you know, they must be affected by all of the ills that they are giving us as well. But they have, you know, the secret elite have been building deep underground military bases all over. They've got their seed vault in Norway. Right. They're preparing for something large. Mm-hmm. And this is the whole trick, is that once you start to look into the occult societies, Freemasonry, secret societies, Skull and Bones, whatever, mm-hmm. You start to notice that they're tracking time. They have been tracking time since they built the temple in Karnak, in ancient Egypt. They have been following time, and they have had this timeline pointing up to today, pointing up to this moment in time as a major transitional moment. Mm-hmm. And even when I was with the Mayans at the ritual, they were telling me the major catastrophes would begin this year. And they actually, one of the Mayan shamans was a Mason, and they had another Mason there with them that was also a Mayan but not a shaman. And he came to me and found out who I was and gave me these images saying, this is from the Great White Brotherhood. We need you to show these to the world. This is what the world is going to look like after the Great Catastrophe. Mm-hmm. And I thought, wow, curious. So he made sure to hook me up with all of these images, and I went home with them, and I was ready to show them off to the world and say, okay, here's what the Mayans are saying. Mm-hmm. And I opened up the images, and they turned out to be Gordon Michael Scallion's maps of the end of the world. He had predicted the end of the world at 5/5/2000 mm-hmm. due to a crustal shift because of a planetary alignment, right, which also occurred while I was at the Mayan ritual. Was another massive mm-hmm.
Planetary alignment where all the planets were on one side of the sun and we were all alone over here. Yeah. Okay. So you were at a Mayan ritual. Was it a recreation of a Mayan ritual, or was it Mayans doing a real ritual?
And this was the first time ever that the Mayans, and they were Mayans, were allowed to perform their winter solstice ritual at the pyramids of Tikal all night long.
And you were just an observer, reporter on this viewing?
Yes, basically. They invited me to participate, and I did participate quite a bit, but I tried to film and document as much as I could. I was invited to be right in the middle of the fire with my camera in their faces. So I have some wonderful footage and film that I've been putting out, and you can find that on freemantv.com. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was the first time ever. It was quite an adventure, quite an event, and a lot of synchronicity, a lot of crazy mishaps that went down. Mm-hmm. It was almost denied. They almost weren't allowed to do it. And then the Masons, the Mayan Masons got on their phones, and they made sure that we still had to walk past a guy with a shotgun telling us we weren't allowed in there. But it was done.
Mm-hmm. So who are these people with the shotguns? What motive did they have?
They were just the guards at Tikal.
Oh.
You get kind of used to these people with their heavy arsenal.
All right.
When you're in Mexico.
All right.
Yeah, it was quite an amazing event. I had no idea I was going to end up doing that. It was completely miraculous. I didn't even know where I was going or anything. How I ended up there, I don't know. I just followed the trail that was put before me, and it led me there.
Mm-hmm. That would be a little scary, I think.
It was, because I don't speak Spanish.
Well, Freeman, how do you know that they didn't have plans to do a Mayan ritual where they cut somebody's head off, and it might have been yours, and taken your brains out?
Now you were.
It's true.
You were. I'm sorry. No, I was just going to say you were. Explain to me again. Were you invited to this?
Yes.
You were.
Yeah.
Okay.
What had happened really was that a group of kids went to the lake Atalan, which is a bottomless lake where a sea monster lives. There in Central America.
Oh.
It's a bottomless lake. Jacques Cousteau tried to find the bottom, never could. And they in San Pedro, Guatemala, they opened a conspiracy bookshop, coffee shop under this volcano. And they premiered with a lot of Freeman stuff. And so by the time I got to the town, everybody there knew who I was. They were telling me stories about myself that I didn't even realize I had talked about. So I was already well welcomed into the whole scenario and invited in, and even the Mayans knew I was coming, and they knew who I was, and they were very excited to make me the North American Intergalactic Rainbow Ambassador to the Mayans. Mm-hmm.
We have a question in the live chat. It doesn't mean anything to me, but it may mean it to you. Did you have ayahuasca? IOAWASKA?
That's another story. I did do an ayahuasca ritual with a 33rd degree Freemason who actually claims to be a 333rd degree Freemason, and he told me that after 180 degrees you're no longer human. He was a member of the Baha'i faith, and told me that he was carrying the actual interpretation of Revelations and the key and the scroll to bind the spirits for 1,000 years after the coming of Christ. But that was my ayahuasca ritual, was with the 33rd degree Mason, not with the Mayans, although he was a Central American.
So how do you walk away from something like that? Do you feel changed? I mean, do you go in to it in one mindset, you are who you are, you believe what you believe, you're settled and anchored to what you believe, and then you go into something like this and it's so different and so changing? Are you able to stay true to yourself in participating in something like this?
Good question.
Yeah, sure, definitely. Well, you got to understand how strange my life is, and